station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Straight ahead on DC News Now at 6, one person is dead following a 3-alarm fire in Montgomery County. We'll have a live report coming up in minutes. Plus, the latest on a deadly shooting on a Metro bus in Montgomery County, what we know about the victim. And you can save on some appliances in the DMV this weekend. We'll tell you how and where. But first, here's meteorologist Scott Sumner.
It has been a beautiful start to this weekend. Clouds are rolling in though overnight tonight. Will that mean rain for you and I as we head into Sunday? Stick around. I'll have your Sunday forecast and beyond in my full 7-day.
Thanks, Scott. Good evening. Thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 6. I'm Annalisa Gale. Developing now in Montgomery County, one person is dead and several others were injured following a 3-alarm fire in Silver Spring. As Dave Laval found out, hundreds of families had to be evacuated. This all happening in the 8,000 block there. Dave, are you there?
Yes, I am, Annalisa, and so far investigators have not released the name of the person who died, and as they continue to go through the 2-tower complex to find out what sparked this fire and forced the evacuation of roughly 450 apartments. Vic Washington captured the fire from his 3rd-floor apartment in Tower B. Firefighters responded just before 6 a.m. They received a call from an 8th-floor tenant in Tower A who complained of heavy smoke from the 7th floor. That's where they found the fire. Firefighters told us at least 17 people went to the hospital. Some of them have been sent home. Meanwhile, 3 firefighters were also treated at the hospital and released. Montgomery County Fire and Rescue told us it's not known when it will be safe for people in up to 200 apartments to return home. That's due to the damage. But there's something even more shocking about this. Chief Scott Goldstein said none of the apartments in the more than 50-year-old building have sprinklers in them.
This building is appropriate to the code at the time it was constructed. Okay, so there's a number of roughly 80 buildings in Montgomery County that are multi-story residentials that are not sprinkler equipped.
The Caulfield Recreation Center has opened as a shelter for those who need a place to stay. Meanwhile, firefighters said some of the evacuees could return home later tonight. Meanwhile, tenants said management told them earlier today it could be days, weeks, even months before they're allowed to get back inside the building. We're live in Silver Spring. Dave Laval, DC News Now.
All right, thank you, Dave. And we have an update to a high-profile case in Maryland. A former Pentagon police officer will remain behind bars as he awaits a new trial. This comes after a mistrial this week. An attorney for one of the victims, James Lionel Johnson, said the family was hoping for a first-degree or second-degree murder conviction at the least. Officials say in April 2021, David Hall Dixon, a Pentagon police officer, was off duty in Tacoma Park. Investigators say Dixon then told them that he saw people breaking into a vehicle. He tried to confront them, and when they didn't respond and started to drive off, police say that's when that former Pentagon police officer shot into that car several times. 32-year-old Dominique Williams and 38-year-old James Lionel Johnson died following the shots into the vehicle. The driver of the car, Michael Thomas, survived that shooting, even though the state's attorney spokesperson said the case was very complicated, saying the jury had 12 options alone among the first 3 counts. The attorney for the victim's family said they were disappointed with yesterday's outcome.
He shot 4 shots into the back of the vehicle, then there was another pause, and he shot a 5th shot. There's no question to us that neither David Dixon nor any reasonable person would think that they were any physical harm.
Dixon will remain behind bars, held without bond in both this case and an unrelated assault case in which he is awaiting trial. The state's attorney's office plans to meet with an administrative judge next week to select new trial dates. Turning now to the district, we have new video following an officer-involved shooting on Good Hope Road in Southeast last week. In that video, you can see the officer confronting suspect Stephen Shaw. Police say they confronted Shaw while looking for another man wanted for an assault, and Shaw responded by saying, "It's not me." At some point, Shaw then reached into his waistband, according to police, but no weapon was found there, with an officer later opening fire, hitting him once, and later arresting him. Shaw was charged with possession of cocaine with intent to distribute. And developing now, police are investigating a deadly shooting on a Metro bus in Montgomery County. They say it happened just before 8 p.m. on Friday on the Z6 bus in the White Oak neighborhood on Lockwood Drive. Police say the victim was killed after what investigators are calling an altercation. He has not been identified.
This was a situation between two individuals who knew one another. So this was not something where this person was randomly shooting people.
Officials are now urging anyone who was around or especially on that bus to come forward. The search continues this evening for that shooter. Now to the Hill, where both Ohio senators are raising new concerns about rail safety following the train derailment in East Palestine. Washington correspondent Rashad Hudson has the latest on the changes some are now demanding.
Both Ohio Senators J.D. Vance and Sherrod Brown are demanding answers following the train derailment in East Palestine nearly 2 weeks ago. Brown says the train company has not been required to invest enough in safety.
At Norfolk Southern made huge profits, big stock buybacks, big dividends, didn't invest, and then laid off thousands of workers.
They are now asking the National Transportation Safety Board to look into improving regulations.
Could be how we label cars, minimal worker requirements in terms of worker safety.
Brown says he wants to see Norfolk Southern held accountable, but Vance says the investigation should play out first before placing blame.
We'll see what criminal culpability needs to happen when we learn more about what actually caused this.
Vance says right now he's focused on helping people return home safely.
Step one is figure out the public safety side of this. Step two is figure out the cleanup and actually get this community cleaned up properly.
Before that can happen safely, testing has to be done. So far, the EPA has tested the water and air quality to allow 500 families to return. Reporting in Washington, Rashad Hudson.
Right now, Virginia Republicans want to defund the agency created to oversee marijuana legalization there. It comes as we've learned the GOP shot down a bill that would have allowed recreational marijuana sales by 2024. Virginia Capitol Bureau reporter Jackie DeFusco has the very latest.
Well, the House's budget proposal would slash nearly 70% of the Cannabis Control Authority's funding over 2 fiscal years, signaling Republicans have no intention of changing their mind anytime soon. A bill to start selling recreational marijuana in 2024, burning out for the second year in a row in the Virginia General Assembly.
I think they did make the right move. I don't think we're ready. I'm not sure we'll ever be ready for that.
The vote a disappointment for Senator Adam Ebbin.
The Republican Party in the House of Delegates has been an impediment to legal sales for cannabis, and voters should keep that in mind when they vote in November.
Back when Democrats were in charge, they made it legal for adults to possess and grow small amounts of recreational marijuana, but they did not finalize the future of retail sales. That delay turned into a major barrier when the GOP took back control of the House, with Governor Glenn Youngkin taking a hands-off approach.
The governor has not taken a position specifically on the retail piece of this legislation.
House Appropriations Committee Chair Barry Knight declining an on-camera interview when asked about their proposal to cut a huge chunk of the Cannabis Control Authority's budget. In a text, Knight said they won't need the money without a retail market for recreational marijuana. But it comes as lawmakers are also transferring oversight of the medical cannabis program to the budding agency.
It doesn't make sense to cut back the funding at a time that we're going to give them increased responsibilities.
In a statement, the head of the Cannabis Control Authority said that the size of these cuts is concerning and that they could very well undermine efforts to address the public health concerns associated with marijuana legalization, like impaired driving. Governor Glenn Youngkin's office declined to comment when asked if they had any role in requesting these budget cuts, and Chairman Knight said he could not recall who asked for them. Reporting at the Capitol, I'm Jackie DeFusco.
All right, good evening, everyone. I hope you had a good day today. It was beautiful out. We have a live look here at Reagan National Airport, where our temperature right now is at 43 degrees. We have some clouds building in and around the region as we speak, but those clouds do not have any moisture in it in the form of rain or snow, so we'll just enjoy the night with some clouds in and around the region. Like I said, 43 degrees. We have a light southerly breeze at 8 miles an hour. The dew point and humidity is on the lower side. The sun sets. We are continuing to add about, I'd say, a minute or so per day on that sunset time at 5:49. All right, so obviously that's already occurred, but still, again, we're getting through February and into March, and soon, before you know it, it'll be 7 o'clock and the sun will still be out there. 43 degrees right now at D.C., 45 at Frederick, 45 at Hagerstown, 42 at Martinsburg, and 41 at Winchester. Temperature-wise is pretty delightful. We can thank high pressure off to the south for giving us a beautiful start to the weekend. Now, you do note those clouds, like I said, floating on in from the west, and they'll be around overnight tonight, but the chance of rain is non-existent here across the weekend here. It's not until we get to Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday when we start to ramp up our rain chances across the entire viewing area. So tonight, partly cloudy skies or mostly clear skies at times, and we have temperatures that will pretty much stay into the lower 40s across the area. What about the weather headlines? Well, we've got a warmer wind for tomorrow. Today was on the cool side, a bit breezy. Will be breezy tomorrow, but warmer. Spotty showers on President's Day, some daily showers through midweek, and could we have record warmth on Thursday? Woo! Stick around. I got that forecast coming up for you in just a few minutes. Annalisa.